enlarge the screen so it says live. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, better. Benita said better. Okay, 2.0 says good evening. Now I can hear you. Okay. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay. All right. Okay, we're good. Hold on. Okay. All right, all right. Now we're going to get started, but I cannot see my comments. I don't know how to do the comments. Okay, so I need you all to start saying something so I can see if it's rolling. Okay, talk to me. Okay, okay. Dr. Austin, are you seeing anything? Comments? Are they rolling? You can't get it. Okay. The devil is playing games. Oh, that's what we're going to have to do. I'm going to have to operate two-handed. Okay, so, okay. Heal, Christina, something. Rejoice, Constance. All right, we're going to have to, I'm going to have to, hey Mavis, I'm going to have to look at two screens and teach the best I can. Okay? Okay, Jessica's going to do the announcements, and by then, hopefully, maybe I can do something different. Let me know if you hear the announcements. I need to read better from over here. So you're going to have to go that way. We're coming with new equipment. Okay, so are you in? Okay, thank you. Okay, now let me know. Okay. Won't he do it? Go ahead, Bree. All right, can you all hear me? Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, Hillary said proceed. We're good. Okay. All right, thank you.
Amen. 2021, the year of navigation. New Earth Community AME Church's vision is to born to praise God and serve His community in mind, body, and soul. Pastor's Appreciation. NBC, as you know, every year during the month of June, we celebrate Pastor's Appreciation, and this year will be no different. This is the 18th year of our pastor's leadership of our thriving church. To commemorate this year, let us give Pastor Merritt $180 per person.
Minimum.
That is $10 per year of her leadership. You can use Pastor's cell phone number or her email address to Zelle or PayPal her your gifts. Please do not feel limited to $180. 1 Timothy 5:17 in the NIV says, the elders who direct the affairs of the church well are worthy of double honor, especially those who work is preaching and teaching. Release blessings on your house through this gift to Pastor. Pastor certainly fertile ground, so there is a harvest when you plant with her. We love and appreciate you, Pastor Merritt. To God be the glory. New NBC t-shirts. Orders are still being accepted. Is that right, Pastor?
You can purchase if we have some overflow.
Okay. The new NBC t-shirt. The cost is $22. If you have not yet paid for yours, Please do that as soon as possible. Payments are being accepted via PayPal and Cash App. When purchasing your shirts, or if you submit a new order, make sure you complete the questionnaire on our website to ensure that you receive the correct sizes. June Homecoming Weekend event information. The June Homecoming service is taking place the weekend of June 18th through the 20th at the Embassy Suite. Okay? Please remember that attendance to this event is by invitation only and registration is required. So let me say, even though you may be hearing this announcement, if you have not yet registered, registration is now also closed. So additional information on attendance requirements has been emailed from our health ministry, so you should have received that if you registered. Please make sure you flag this email for reference, as pertinent information was included to ensure the safety of all event attendees. If you have not registered for this event, then hopefully we will see you at the next one in September. The June Homecoming Weekend itinerary is as follows. Friday, June 18th at 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the t-shirt pickup will be available. The pickup spot is in the back parking lot of the Embassy Suite. You can look for the NBC Sprinter, also known as Charlene. If you are unable to pick up your t-shirt during this time frame, please arrange with another member or event attendee to pick up your shirt. Pickup confirmations will be necessary for such orders. On Saturday, June 19th at 7 p.m., we'll be having a welcome reception. The welcome reception will be held again at the Embassy Suite in salons A, B, and C, and you are to wear your new NBC t-shirt. So everyone that's registered, come on out and get to meet some of your new members and connect with some of the old ones. And then on Sunday, the main event, Sunday, June 20th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be having homecoming worship service with an awesome message by our very own Pastor Kathy A. Merritt. Also at that service, the Gironally Women's Missionary Society has a new service project entitled So Fresh and So Clean Dry, reference to Outcast for some of you who may not be aware. We want to thank Sister Kelly Hilliard for her work to identify and establish a relationship with our newest service partner, which is the YWCA of Greensboro. The YWCA provides a variety of programs and services for people in need through parenting programs, community engagement initiatives, youth empowerment opportunities, and an on-site emergency family shelter. So Kelly's recent efforts has given the Missionary Society opportunity to service 25 unsheltered adults and children by providing them a Taco Tuesday themed dinner. And the Missionary Society did that on Tuesday, June 1st. So kudos, applause to all the missionaries that participated in that effort, even during this time. So now there's another opportunity for everyone to help by purchasing one container of laundry detergent to donate to the on-site emergency family shelter. The detergent can be any brand, but please consider brands like Drip for sensitive skin, because there are babies and young children at the shelter where we'll be making the donation. So you can bring that detergent to homecoming service on June 20th, or you can look in the announcement or on our website and get the link to the Missionary Society's Amazon wish list. There, you can purchase one or more detergents and have it shipped directly to the home of the person that will be overseeing that drop-off. If you have any questions about that, feel free to contact JLWMS at newbirthcommunityame.org. All right, now moving on. NBC, every year we have a week off, and this year is no different. So our one Sunday and the subsequent Wednesday night Bible study off of vacation will fall around July 4th. So we will not, I repeat, we will not have service, we will not be on live on Sunday, July 4th, and we will not have Bible study on Wednesday, July 7th. We will resume Facebook Live on Sunday, July 11th. Now, additionally, the July Town Hall, which would have fallen on July 5th, is going to be rescheduled for the next Monday. So make sure you continue to review your weekly announcements for that confirmation. We also have prayer call on this Thursday and every Thursday night. You can call into the number 336-663-0110. Our access code is NBCAME, spelled out on your phone. That's 622263. You can also email your prayer request to lordbless@newbirthcommunityame.org. Okay, we're getting close to the end. Virtual Afro-Caribbean dance class. The next class is scheduled for Saturday, July 17th. Class is hosted every first and third Saturday by Sister Megan Doldrin, and some of those Saturdays are falling on holidays when we're together. So the next scheduled dance class is July 17th. And lastly, please continue to pray for our forever home. We do have a process for submitting and evaluating potential property locations. Please use the link that you can find in your midweek announcements and on our website to fill out the requested fields and provide our leadership team with information. If you're not a member of NBC and you see a property that you think would be a blessing or something that we could utilize for ministry, feel free to reach out and send that information at nbcnews@nbcame.org. And that concludes our Wednesday midweek announcement.
Thank you, Jessica, for those announcements. I hope you guys can hear me, because I'm looking all kinds of ways, because I can't see any of your responses. So I'm going to have things written on boards, and I'm looking at phones and iPads, because now I'm on the laptop. So just keep me abreast of what's going on. Hey, Pastor Deborah, I didn't see you there. Welcome to NBC Bible study called The Summit. Welcome to the uncut funk of the word. Is First Lady on? Nobody knows. Tell me, talk to me, show me, walk with me. Yes. Can't see anything? Okay. We don't know what happened. Seems to be a glitch in the system. But we're going to be looking for things. We're going to be looking. Because what I'm seeing at this point, my comments are repeating. They're repeating. So I saw those comments 10 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago. So they're just repeating. But we're going to go on, and we're going to ask that the Lord bless, because I know He will. And we're just going to go on. We're talking about the year of navigation, and now we're talking about the ability of the misinterpretation of immediately. The misinterpretation of immediately. Now, I wanted some feedback today, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the feedback. But we're going to keep trying, and we'll let you know how we go. What does immediate mean to you? Lord bless. What does immediate mean to you? What does it mean to you? Okay, all right. So the quick, the fast, the hurried. All right, what else does it mean? What else does it mean? Wasting no time. Okay, what else does it mean? Okay, it means rushed. Okay, fast. Okay, all those are good answers. The misinterpretation of immediately. I want to talk about how I've learned that the technique that I used when I was younger was not the most effective technique in order to frog. It was not the most effective technique into relying fully on God. What are you saying, Pastor? I'm saying that I rush through life based on the parameters of my cultural belief. Okay? I rush through life based on the parameters of my cultural belief. And what are you saying? I did not establish a relationship with God. I just went to church. And I just went to church because that's what we were supposed to do. But I didn't really learn anything while I was there, except, okay, she's in. Learn anything while I was there, simply because I was being rushed to be in a place versus to glean while I was in that place. Okay, some of us live lives where we meet deadlines, but we are not benefited by meeting them. See, some of us can meet a scheduled deadline, but have difficulties knowing the purpose of why I met that deadline. My relationship with Christ and our relationship with Christ should be purposeful. Purposeful. But what happens is, as I'm rushing through life, I found out church was just something I checked off the list. I went to church. Yeah, it was all a part of the process. It wasn't about relationship. It was all about process. And so when I'm dealing with the process, I'm not dealing with the purpose. And so my idea of going to church was I checked it off the list. Thus, I'm successful. I have a successful relationship. I am a Christian because I go to church every Sunday. So I check it off the list. But that's not what church is supposed to be about. That is not the relationship. So I get in the hustle bustle of going to work 5 days a week and thinking that I should be celebrated because on my off day, I go to church. You all don't hear me right now. Some of y'all are looking to be celebrated because you're in a place, when in actuality, you're not benefiting from it. And so what you're doing is called wasting time. Now, what's so important of the word immediate and immediacy, because that is the byproduct of time. Now, we talked about Sunday that time does not go in reverse and time cannot be tasted or touched, but it can be measured through passage. Time is events, past, present, and looking into the future. All right? Though that is what time is. But time cannot go backwards. So when we begin to use phrases like, I got to make up time, we've already missed the purpose of where we are. When we're navigating, there are a lot of things that we do that will not gain us what we're trying to gain. But we're doing it so we can say we checked it off the list. Because you're in church does not mean you're going to be a good person. Because there are a lot of aliens in church. There are a lot of bad people in church. There are a lot of bad people at your dinner table tonight. All right? And so what happens is when we recognize church is just not something we're supposed to check off, it's supposed to be something we're learning from that we might share with others. But that's not considered, because people who consider themselves movers and shakers just want to check it off the list. And so what happens is they go through life immediately, but without purpose. Immediately without purpose. No one ever stops them to say, well, why are you here? What's the purpose of you being here? Why do you come every Sunday? Why don't you join an organization? Why don't you join the choir? I can't say, how about join the usher board? I can't stand up. You know, people make excuses why they don't do what they're supposed to do, because they want to come to this place called church and check it off. You cannot check off time. And before you know it, it's gone. And there's no backwards. And if we don't take the time to understand the purpose of our being, then time will be wasted. I talk about it all the time. I want to talk about athletes because I love basketball. And I want to talk about the fact that how they don't heal, but they come back too soon. And they shorten their career, which in turn, what do? They shorten their time because of immediacy. When you are trying to do things in a rush or in a hurry, they cause anxieties. Anxieties cause you to look different, handle situations differently, the darkening of the skin, the fogging of the thought processes of the brain. You cannot think clearly because you're rushed immediately. Immediately. So I want to talk about tonight, what is wrong with living in the now? What is wrong with being appreciative and smelling the flowers today? I want you to give yourself an opportunity to make things right. If you know that you rushed through some things and you've gleaned nothing through that process, I want you to stop right now. I want you to stop right now. Right now, I say, I'm stopping. I'm not rushing through anything anymore because I deserve. See, this, you got to give yourself permission. I deserve to take my time. Oh, my God. See, this is one of the things that I've learned as an educator. I've learned that young boys, hey, Tone, I've learned that young boys in school would rather finish their work quickly as opposed to get it done correctly. It's a male thing. They want to be first. But first does not support process. First does not support purpose. You aren't getting this. This is Bible study now. This is Bible study, and I'm going to prove to you why this is going this way. It does not support it simply because your idea is to rush through, to go briefly or quickly through a process versus glean from the journey. And that's why when it all settles down, you've accomplished very little. No relationship. And so when athletes come back too soon, and then people expect things from you. Oh, you don't hear me. See, when you begin to do things quickly, people put expectations on you that you cannot live up to. And then you force yourself, and then you treat yourself. Oh, I'm talking to you. Some of you out there are living under other people's hurry. Write that down. Are you living under other people's hurry? Are you living by someone else's standard of rush for your life? You got to hurry up. You got to get out of school. But what if you need more time in school? What if you need more? How many of you are living under someone else's rush? You've got to recognize, you've got to be in tune enough to who you are and what your relationship is with Christ for how you navigate your journey. Navigation. Now, you cannot do it the way someone else did it. But you can do it. It depends on what your do is. You do not have to do it the way the constructs say you have to do it. And what we tend to do, we tend to look at others while we're trying to do ours. Track stars. Track stars are running. A track star's major faux pas is to look behind to see who's coming behind them. Right. Because the process of going backwards takes time off them going forward. Yes. And so if I focus on my journey, you all don't want to hear me. If I focus on my time, if I focus on my immediacy, but your immediacy is not my immediacy. And we've got to stop comparing ourselves to that. So if I focus on my time and my relationship with the King, then my journey will be different. What are you saying, Pat? I'm saying, hey, Constance Crutchfield, I'm saying this. I'm saying if we are going to be honest, how many of you recognize that there's some time that you'd like to get back? Talk to me. And let me read all the screens I got around me. How many of you would like to get some time back? How many of you, I got a lot of questions. How many of you beat yourself up when you realize you've wasted time? And then tell me what wasted time is. Subliminal messaging. Recognizing time does not go backwards. Does not go backwards. It does not. It can only go forward. So the only time and the only remedy for what you think is wasted is to what? Begin again. It's to begin again. But some of you are not under the impression that I can start right now. You've given up because of wasted time. How many of you know the story of the tortoise and the hare? Okay? The hare was the fastest animal in the kingdom and could run fast. The tortoise is the slowest animal in the kingdom, but the tortoise and the hare had a race, and the tortoise won. Why did the tortoise win? The tortoise won because he used brains instead of brawn. Some of you are fighting as thinking that God is going to give you 100% check mark because of your performance. God is not a performance God. When we're talking about getting to the finish line first, we're talking about performance. And that's what happens in churches. Praise teams are performing. They're not praising. Hey, I like that. Yes, we're not talking about a performance God. We're talking about a purposed God. And it's got to be purposed in your life. But you're rushing through life, not communicating with him, not talking to him, not walking with him. And what's happening is what? You're just rushing through life. And then you get to the ripe old age or whatever that age is, because reality will set in. And you look back and say, I wish I would have done things differently. I'm telling you right now, you have to learn how to run your own navigation. Some of you are being pushed by other entities that are not closely connected to you. And what are you saying, Pastor? I'm saying people you don't even know are pushing you. You're living by the construct of community rules and regulations. You're living by the construct of your supervisor. You don't know your supervisor. It's just your supervisor at work. What is it that can stop you from running someone else's race? Because you're looking at the immediately. I got to get this. I said by the time I was 26, I was going to have 2 kids and have, how you going, you don't even have a boyfriend at 25. How you going to have 2 kids at 26? You know something I don't know? Oh, you get the message. When we start putting time constructs on our life without consulting God, then you're living out of his will. And so what we're doing is we're running because I want to be a millionaire by the time who does it? I can be a millionaire anytime. Give me them money. What I'm trying to get you to understand is, are you governing your life where you can see the purpose for it? Or are you just moving through it quickly so you can check it off the list? And I'm suggesting today that there's time for you to start again. Take a deep breath. See what you have. And begin your journey, your navigation for your life according to his will for your life. Why you say that, Pat? I say that because we want to please our parents. I mean, I wanted to please mine. I did. I wanted to please my parents. I wanted to be considered a good person. Hey, Sister Margaret, I wanted to be considered a good person. I wanted to do all the things that would make people proud and I thought would make me proud. But somewhere along the line, I began to move in a construct that was not between me and God. What I'm trying to get you to understand as Christians is the decisions that you make, you have to decide what's best for me. But you cannot decide that without the commune with God. And so when you go through life not communing, just rushing, you get destruction. You get destruction. And you have to slow down and have a conversation with Jesus. You've got to have a conversation with him. You've got to figure out what he wants from you, where he wants you to go. But what you've done and what we've done as a people, we do what we see everybody else doing. And then we get depressed when we can't do it in the time frame that they did it. So now I'm suffering anxieties. I'm popping pills. I can't sleep at night. I have sweats. I don't look good because I'm always glazed and perspiring simply because I am journeying someone else's life because I wanted to do it quickly. I just want to get it out the way. You all treat life like you treat the green peas on your plate. Just eat them first, and I save my chicken for last as dessert. Come on, you all know what I'm talking about. You know you couldn't get up from dinner if you didn't eat all your vegetables. And so what you do, you scarf those things down quickly. You cannot scarf life down. That was good. Write that down. You cannot scarf life down. Life is meant to be lived. It's meant to be journeyed. And you're not journeying because you're too busy rushing. And you're not taking into consideration how that rushing affects your life. You not take, I'm not going to say that just happened. You're not taking consideration on how you're rushing your life. Go into the delete and find it. And so what happens is, We have to understand how God is moving in our life and how things move accordingly. And it's imperative that we get this. I want us to go to Hebrews 12:1. Can we do that? It's got 3 hearts behind it. It's supposed to be in the notes of 95. And I think I hit delete or misplace or something. Hebrews 12. Now the reason I bring this one up, and I told you Sunday, is because allegedly it was given to Paul as the writer. But time constraints prove that Paul did not write this. But I still like it. And I like it because it sounds like a testimony. You know the difference between a testimony, first giving honor to God, and then the testimony where you can actually hear somebody's soul speaks? Well, in Hebrews 12, I hear the soul of the writer. When you're navigating your life, you've got to understand that one word should be underlined. Your. You. Is mine. Ownership of that life. Go to Hebrews 12. Because I have no devices, I'm going to have a reader. Everything is down and out. Go to Hebrews 12:1. It was the whole year. So if you've never experienced the devil being busy, I want to tell you what's happening over here. He's real busy. Do I have a reader? Okay, let's go from Hebrews 12:1.
Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses.
Stop it. So what it's saying is, okay, I don't know because I have 3 hours. So what it's saying is that there are people looking around you. There are people surrounding you. There are things that are about you. And the reason that that's important is because how many of you know that you change how you act when others see you? See, this is why this writer really is like, wow, he's under some pressure here. I'm surrounded by things that causes me to act differently because they're around. I can either cower down, or I can boast up, or I can make poor decisions, or I can make no decisions because of what's around me. Some of our lives have been stymied because of what's around us. And some of us don't know how to break out of the shell of be who we are because of the crowd that's surrounding us. So he said, now I'm surrounded by a crowd of witnesses. A cloud of witnesses. That means an abundance. That means a multiplicity of things. And so I think it might change how I act. Why do you say that, Pat? Because believe it or not, Pat used to be on the track team. Can you imagine that? But I was a shot putter. Don't get me wrong. I threw that thing 38.5. But anyway, I was the reigning supreme in my division. And I always threw that thing. You know how you put it, and I always threw that thing further when what? My mama and my daddy was in the stands hollering. So the crowd and the cloud of witnesses has many things to do with your performance. All right? But performance does not always mean speed. It means purposeful. It's purposeful. He says, so now I know I'm surrounded by all these witnesses. That's what he says. Read on.
Let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles.
Okay, so in order to do this thing, in order to move freely, see, and you sometimes confuse those 2 words, freely, with immediately. In order to move freely, I must take off some of the things that hold me down. And so when you're dealing with immediacy, you got to figure out what constraints are holding you down. How many of you can identify your constraints? Just talk to me. How many? You may not be working on them. And you know, I believe that a lot of people know more about themselves than they give themselves credit. How many of you can identify your constraints? How many of you can identify your constraints? How many of you can identify, this is probably something I shouldn't be operating in, but you still do it? See, because you can know what your problem is, don't mean you're going to fix it. Come on now, quit playing me. Some of us have identified what our kryptonite is. We talked about that before. We just choose to keep the kryptonite. Some of you need to recognize those things that are holding you down. You need to identify those things because they're called by this writer entanglements. And entanglements takes more than just shaking something off. If something fits loosely, you can probably shake it off. If it doesn't fit loosely, you probably cannot shake it off. You are entangled by it. You are entwined by it. It has you in bondage. And so when you're moving in bondage, that is that piece of not recognizing all the purposeful things I should be learning through my journey. Some of you are running with your eyes closed. It's like driving. You ever been driving? You drive all the time, and then finally you're a passenger, and you're like, well, when did they build that? Or when did that get there? And you drive this street every day. How many of you can relate? You pass something that same street, but you have not seen buildings that have been erected. You've not seen buildings that have been torn down. All these things because you're not taking time. Because what you're trying to do, you're trying to get to someplace. You're trying to get there, so you're not taking time to see what you need to see. And see, that's how we lead our lives. And that's why we get entangled. We get entangled because we don't see the red flags. Yes, it's like a race car, Indy 5000, flags everywhere, but we don't see them because we're too busy trying to check it off the list. And then you don't realize how you've damaged your life because you're so busy checking things off the list, but you glean nothing, no wisdom, because all you're doing is checking off the list. Drive down that same street every day and didn't see this brand new building, didn't see a whole new erection, because we are not focused on the purpose. We just focus on crossing the line. That's the misinterpretation of immediately. What does fast get you? Talk to me. What does fast get you? Ooh, I'm the fastest. Boy, on Instagram, TikTok, I'm fast, boy. I'm fast. And these dogs are just running really fast. And they're just going back and forth. But the sound behind the dog said, I'm fast, boy. I'm fast, boy. I'm fast. So tell me, what does fast get you? What does it do? When you don't take things into consideration, hey Cheryl, when you don't take things in consideration for your life, what it does is cause you to believe, because it causes failures, it causes disappointments. And what does it do? It causes you to believe that you cannot be successful, that you've wasted so much time that I can't start again, that you've wasted so much time that you said, since I can't go back, I'll just sit here in the corner in this old folk home and I'll just slobber. I'll just sit here and wither away. I'm here to tell you today that if you just stop that foolishness right now, if you just stop and see where you are right now, let's honestly just look at where I am right now and how can I contribute to my own purpose. Stop right now. I'm just saying, stop it. Stop all that running right now. What are you rushing to? Just stop it. Yeah. Put an end to it. Put a period on it. It's a done deal. And then let's see where we are. Let's just stop and think. What do I want for my life? And what am I rushing toward? I go to work. I come home. I go to sleep. We have to work. Okay? Some of us do. But what is the purpose of fulfillment? Some of you are and believe that if I go to work, I can't. I'm just so tired, I can't do anything else. It is the thought process of immediately. You know, you don't have to rush. If you organize that, you could eliminate the rushing. There's time for you to write your book. Yes, it is. There's time for you to journal in your memoirs. There's time for you to learn how to sew. Oh, y'all don't believe me. Come on now, come on. Dr. Austin, I talk about her all the time because she loves a good success story. She's the one telling me, you know how old KFC was, Colonel Sanders, when KFC... She loves those kind of stories. He was 52 past. He was 52 years old. He became a billionaire. That's when KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken became... We got time. See, God's time is not our time. And you would recognize that you didn't have to rush because it's His will for your life. See, you're running based on your culture, not based on your relationship with God. You've got time. You've got time. I got to do this because, see, everybody in my family dies when they're in their early 40s. What are you saying? What are you putting in the atmosphere? But you would know not to put that in the atmosphere if you chilled and had a relationship with God on a regular basis and you talked about this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You've got to recognize that you have time to do exactly what He has for you to do. And you're tucking yourself out because you're running the constraints of someone else's hurry. Yes, you're running someone else's hurry. You can't hurry God. Has anybody ever heard that phrase before? You can't hurry God. His time. His thoughts. And you just move accordingly. Your job is to be a witness for Him. Yeah, so I'm not telling you don't go to work and be slothful. I'm saying your job is to be a witness for Him. Because it's His time. You'll draw them in unto Him based on how you handle what He's given you. And what has He given you? Time. You had time. What's the rush? Because some of you recognize that I got to go fast, and then you do illegal things in reference to time. You run your credit up, and you don't pay your bill. All those things because of time. I want you to go to Proverbs. Did we finish Hebrews 12? Let's finish Hebrews 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue.
And let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us.
Now, we talked about why they talk about race and we're talking about life. Because it has some of the same adjectives. You know, there's vigorous things that you got to do in a race. That there are comparable competitions that you do through life. And so, and it's sometimes rigorous. So the Bible often compares a life to a race. But we're not talking about the race of competition here. And so the reader just read that again.
And let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us.
Read it again.
And let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us.
Okay, the race marked out for us. There's a personal journey. The race marked out for us. And that's what I'm saying. You kind of get caught up when you get to running other people's races. And when you get to looking at other people, you're looking at other things they're doing and how they're doing and how they stretch and how they warm up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, Nicole, it's like when some people, go to the gym and they look at somebody else and they jumping and they pulling boards and everything else and pumping weights, and then you get home and you done pulled your shoulder out of whack trying to do somebody else's routine. This is a personal thing. And I want you to recognize the reason you're feeling not good about yourself right now is because you're comparing yourself to someone else's immediate. What does God have for you? What does God have for you? And how can you move accordingly? You've got time. Sit back. Have a talk with Him. Yes, I'm offering you a relationship. I need for you to define and realize that I may be doing things that are not for me to do. And I may be doing things and not knowing it because I'm so busy just trying to check my life off a list. Well, I want to live. I don't just want to breathe. I want to live, and I want to move accordingly. Because I know that there's purpose in what He has me to do. Some of you are sitting on some creative stuff that's out of this world. Yes, and it's called for you to do it. But you don't know because you're too busy rushing through someone else's hurry. Go to Proverbs 21. Thank you, reader. Go to Proverbs 21. I think it's 21 and 5. Is that what I said on Sunday? Proverbs 21 and 5. My time is drawing nigh, but I'm going to take a couple more minutes. You know why? Because I had technical difficulties. Hey, 2.0. Hey, Reverend Dawn. Okay, go to Proverbs 21 and 5. Is that correct? Okay, we're ready.
The plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty.
What does that mean? The more I run, the poorer I'll be, the less I'll have. That's the word of God. Listen to it again.
The plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty.
Diligent. I just got to be relentless. I've got to be consistent. You know why I like this, guys? Can I be honest? I like this because I've been fat all my life. And usually fat folk ain't fast. Hey, no problem. No problem. I got fast cars. Oh, and fast men. Okay, I'm just kidding. So this is what I'm saying to you. I'm saying that all he's requiring of me is to do my thing, my way. Who else offers that? I got to be consistent. And I've got to be stable. I got to be relentless in this thing. And I got to be unapologetically me through Christ. That means I sometimes have to blind myself, put on blinders when it comes to other things or others around me, because I could get entangled in their journey. I cannot get entangled in their journey because I got to run my own race. And what entangles me is once I'm trying to help you run yours, and then I'm trying to look at mine, and then I'm looking at this. No, this is personal. This is personal. This is a one-on-one journey. How many of you out there can be relentless? I'm talking about for you. Quit giving so much. NBC is a selfish ministry. You give so much away. So much away that do you save any for you? How many of you can be relentless for you? How many of you can be goal driven for you? How many of you recognize God will open up your heart when you communicate with him? But what you're trying to do things on your own without the relationship of God, and what happens then you become depleted. That's what it says. But if you have a relationship, see, because you're nothing without God. You're nothing. You're nothing without his breath. So if you have a relationship with him, your hurry will be yours. If not, you're operating under the constraints of your culture. Go to school. That's what I heard growing up. Get a good job. And I was like, well, what does that mean? You make lots of money. But then you don't teach me how to handle the money. So then I squandered the money. But go to school. Get you a husband. Go get you a wife. Have some children. But should you teach me to love me first? Or I'm just to rush through it. After you graduate from college, you get you a wife. Is that the order of things for everybody? Or do you take the time out to talk to God about your journey? No, because you're too busy immediately doing someone else's hurry. Stop it. You've got time. Can we start new? Can we start afresh? Can we start building a relationship with God right now? Someone who's going to talk with you and walk with you and help you understand where you should be going. Can you just honestly say, you know, and I rushed through some stuff, but you know, I got time. Look at the person sitting next to you and say, I got time. And if no one's sitting next to you, don't you say it out loud. No, I got time. Look at something. Look, I got time. I got time. But I've got to be this time, I've got to use my brains instead of my brawn. See, this time I'm going to have to do it differently. This time he's causing me to communicate with him, to sup with him, to walk with him, to talk with him. This is what he wants from us. We need to start chasing after God in a manner that makes us just relentless as being in his presence, because we need answers, and the answers he will reveal through us if we ask. You seek and you'll find, but you've got time. How many of you are ready to do things diligently? How many of you ready? How many of you are ready? Not quickly. Let's take that out of the vocabulary. But how many of you steadfast in getting what you know the Lord wants for you? I'm steadfast. I'm not rushing into anything because I don't want to have to do it again. I'm lazy. I'm lazy. Let's put it in. Put it in the right way. You know what happens when you put things together and you don't look at the paperwork? The bookshelf always leans. And in the middle of the night, you think they're shooting when the bookshelf falls down and falls apart. Hey, immediate. What's your definition? And should it be your immediacy or someone else's hurry? Hey, my time is up. I really do thank you for spending your time with me, and I want to apologize all over again for not being able to read the comments or answer your questions because I am going out here blind. My phone done went wah-wah. So I tell you what, if you count this to my head and not my heart into these pieces of equipment, we'll be so much better on Sunday at 11. I promise you that. I promise you that we'll be so much better on Sunday at 11. But Lady Edmonds, I thank you for coming and being with us today. Cheryl Averill, I thank you. Lady Cousins, I'm always happy to see my Sister Katrina. Dr. Austin, I really am always. Mavis, one of my biggest fans. I love you all. Thank you, Mrs. Hobbs, for being on. But I promise you guys, you got time. You do. And don't you let anybody tell you that you don't. But right now you need to stop this rat race and build a relationship. God is not a performance God. You might get done first, but you won't have anything to show for it when it comes to your witness. Take your time. Let the Lord know that you love Him and you love having Him in your life, and watch the windows of heaven begin to open up. Because you've got time. Write your book. Start your company. Ask the questions that you were ashamed to ask before. Well, you say that, Past, because those answers are out there for you. Yes. Don't just rush through things. No question is a dumb question. Ask those questions. Engage people in conversations that they think that you're not able to have. Oh, sit down over a cup of coffee and just ask some of the questions that you've always wanted answers to. Ask your mother, where did you get my name? Take time out to enjoy the things around you. Be inquisitive. You know why? Because you got time. And speaking of that, my time is up here on this live, but I thank you for spending yours with me. I love you dearly. Dr. Doldrin, Minister Amy, Otis, thank you. Slime is recovering, had those wisdom teeth pulled. I love you, man. You know I do. I love a man that goes through that kind of pain and still has a smile on his face. I love you, Slime. I do. All right, guys. My time is up. Hey, I don't know how to turn this. I love you, Robert. My time is up. And I'll see you all. Will you be with me? I like confirmations. Sunday at 11. Be there. Bye-bye.